This is Valorant's last chance. The last chance to make this game enjoyable before it fully vanishes in the fog of dead and forgotten games. Now, if you know my channel, you will also know that I like to, let's say, minimally criticize the way this game has been developed, and for good reason. But in this video, I want to show actual ideas, actual solutions to the problems that I call out in all my other videos. Starting off, let's talk about core gameplay, since that's what a game is supposed to be all about, right? One of the biggest problems that Valorant has is that Riot is playing a numbers game. They're trying to make it as easy as possible to play this game, so that their player numbers keep rising and make their investors happy. To manage this, they constantly release updates and patches that lower the general skill floor, but also individual skill floors for abilities and agents. Ultimately, this also lowers the skill ceiling for each character, which is a problem. The more each agent is restricted, the more similar they all are to each other. The less it actually matters which agent you play, and the less a player can individualize his playstyle. As a solution, abilities and agents should be designed to actually be difficult to play and hard to master. One great example is the visual and audio cue for when a smoke is about to fade. The smoke timings were one additional skill a smokes player had to learn and could play around with in a match, and therefore all other players also had to individually develop a way to deal with smoke timings to counter those players. With the new warnings, however, they chose to sacrifice these additional playmaking opportunities for a playstyle where you can just turn off your brain and mindlessly hold angles because the game does the thinking for you. I would start by taking out these beginner-friendly cues from mechanics, but I would also mainly focus on creating new and exciting characters like Yoru and Astra that have a way more complex mechanic that can also be used more creatively. A counterexample would be a character like Teo, who is a pure copy of 3 other agents, has no individual feel to him, and is a product of zero ingenuity and creativity. It's literally just a character where you press 3 buttons and the game pretty much does the thing for you. When it comes to maps, this game has lost all its former glory. I don't know who is in charge of the latest releases or who is giving them weird assignments, but this has got to stop. There's a reason why the most liked maps are still the maps from the first 2 years of development, and why every new map has been considered trash by the community.
What the hell?
Work with the community if needed. Other games have done this in the past too, where community members were given access to a map creator and submissions were sent in. At least listen to us. This would even reduce cost for the map design if that's your main concern. All the devs would have to do is look over the ideas and maybe tweak a few points that didn't correlate with their own ideas. Just imagine what it would mean to some people if their favorite pro team played on their own map. It would be a great community project and a sign that Riot is willing to work together. And there's always enough professionals in a community to really bring these projects to the next level. For the next solution, not much has to be said. Ban smurfs. It's a huge problem in gameplay integrity and a big reason why the ranked system seems to be so bad to begin with. And I know most of Riot's favorite big creators do it all. I mean, without smurfing, funnily enough, they couldn't be content creators for Valorant, because the rank grind is literally the only content this game has to offer. But it's not like they should be allowed to do it just because they have more followers. So, add an option to report a smurf and ban them. It's easy to check someone's account or if they logged onto different accounts on the same computer. I mean, just ask your kernel core spy software, it probably knows what they had for lunch today. Next up, and probably one of the biggest reasons why this game just seems so incredibly boring and dull after a while. There is nothing for you. Nothing. The only thing we have are the ranked buddies that have been the same for every season for 4 years, bro. 4 years. You can look at any other game. Look at Rocket League, for example. For each season, they have a different reward. Sometimes you get a boost trail in your rank color, sometimes a specialized banner, sometimes actual wheels or an antenna. So, as a more general solution, I would just rework the cosmetic system. The possibilities here are absolutely endless. However, I would start with adding glove types, stickers, gun customizations, and agent skins. I mean, at this point, it's nothing new that Valorant pretty much copied Counter-Strike and combined it with hero shooters like Overwatch, so why not just embrace it? It would definitely generate more profit, which is the only thing Riot wants anyway, isn't it? So with these new items, you can choose some to be added as ranked rewards and some to add to the other new features I will now touch on. Agent rewards. There's a very shallow leveling system for each individual agent. However, the rewards are so bad that they aren't really worth mentioning. The problem is that these challenges used to be XP based and are now unlocked through kingdom credits. And these credits are just garbage, man. They realized that people were unlocking and leveling agents too fast for their liking, so they just locked it behind a third in-game currency that you have to grind in games, but which also has a cap, which is basically just there to slow your progress. The solution I propose is to simply get rid of this shitty credit system and revert back to XP. Then I would add 10 to 15 challenges for each agent, ultimately ending with an additional character specific gun which isn't a pistol skin. You can give us anything from a Vandal to a Ares to an Odin. People would try to grind that skin. I would also rework the Battle Pass, which currently is just a way of saying that you got cheap Radianite. To make it easier for Riot, they wouldn't even have to change the concept of the Battle Pass. I would just add more levels to it. Up to level 50, you can keep the standard low level rewards, but going through level 75 to 100 would grant you some very good cosmetics, like guns with animations or even little effects. Most importantly, however, I would add Valorant points to the Battle Pass, so you have a way to gain enough points to not have to buy the next Battle Pass at full price every time. Fortnite, Rocket League, and even Marvel Rivals have this system already implemented. Fortnite and Rocket League even take it a step further and give you extra points that you can save up to buy other things in the shop additionally to the Battle Pass. Of course, only if you grind it to 100%. Or you do it like Marvel Rivals and you only get part of your points back, so that you essentially have to buy 2 Battle Passes to get the third one for free. But even that would be a first step at least. Now to the last part. In my proposal, I would slowly bring down skin pricings to $40 max. Skins should have never been this expensive in the first place. Now, before you say that it's not financially possible, all of this lost revenue can now be made back by the additional cosmetic items and would probably even increase revenue. While weapon skins would become more accessible and less expensive, it would also increase the quantity of skins sold. Now, I am very aware that at least this part of the game will never change. Not as long as there are enough geniuses out there buying these bundles for $100. But at least this way, these guns would still be accessible through a hard grind if they add Valorant points to the Battle Pass. This wouldn't change anything about the amount of weapon skin purchases, because let's be real, the people that are wasteful with their money or have no self-control over themselves will still buy these skins no matter what. The only thing that this would change is the fact that it would have implemented a system that rewards its hardcore player base and gives anyone without the financial ability to still experience the game to its fullest. While making this video, I realized that there are actually so many other ideas that could still be implemented or talked about, but I think for now these are the things that Valorant needs to change most urgently if they still plan on making their game fun in the near future. Otherwise, instead of playing it, we will look back on this game in 2 or 3 years and just reminisce about all the lost potential and the game that it could have been. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.